There are stories people share online that sound too dark to be real, too specific, too detailed, too disturbing. Most people assume they're just myths, urban legends born from paranoia and boredom. They're wrong. Tonight on Midnight Shadow, we go through 7 of the most chilling internet legends ever shared, and we reveal the ones that actually happened. Not fiction, not rumor, real events, real people, real consequences. My name isn't important. What I'm about to tell you is. Stay with me. In the early 2000s, a chain email started circulating across the internet. The subject line alone made people stop. It read, "If someone called Slavemaster contacts you online, do not respond. He has killed 56 women he met through the internet." Most people dismissed it. Chain emails were common back then. Ghost stories in text form, forwarded endlessly through inboxes. But this one was different, because this one was based on a real person. His name was John Edward Robinson. He lived in Kansas City, Missouri. Every outward appearance, he was ordinary, a family man, a respected member of his community, steady job, nice house. Nobody suspected a thing. But beneath that surface, Robinson was hunting. Throughout the 80s and 90s, he targeted women who were isolated, women dealing with financial problems, loneliness, desperation. He promised them jobs, relationships, a way out. And when they got close enough, he killed them. When the internet arrived, Robinson didn't slow down. He evolved. He entered chat rooms. He reached across state lines. His username was Slavemaster. One of his victims lived in California, a single mother, disabled daughter, struggling to keep the lights on. Robinson found her online, offered her a job, offered her hope. She traveled to Kansas City. Neither she nor her daughter were ever seen alive again. It went on like this for years, until one woman escaped. In June 2000, a woman he had been seeing managed to flee and reach the police. When investigators searched his properties, they found what no one was prepared for: the remains of multiple women hidden on his land. Robinson was convicted of killing 8 victims. Authorities believe the real number is higher. He was sentenced to death. The emails about the Slavemaster began spreading around the time his story broke in the media. Someone saw the news and wrote a warning, a real warning about a real predator. Over time, the truth got buried under layers of forwarded text, and it became legend. But it was never just a legend. This one started with a smell. The story, as it circulated online, went like this. A couple checks in to a roadside motel. The moment they walk into the room, something is wrong. There's an odor, faint at first, then impossible to ignore. Maintenance comes, can't find the source. The couple searches themselves. They lift the mattress, and they find a body, decomposed, days old, hidden beneath the bed they had just been sleeping on. People shared this story for years. It felt like an urban legend, the kind of thing that couldn't actually happen in a real motel, managed by real people, cleaned by real staff. But researchers started looking, and what they found was quietly horrifying. July 1996, Pasadena, California, a travel lodge. A couple checks in, reports a smell, checks out the next morning. Other guests take the same room over the following days. Everyone complains about the odor. Eventually, staff investigate. Inside the bed frame, they find the remains of a 23-year-old woman. A previous guest had killed her and concealed her there. Multiple people had slept in that room without ever knowing. That was just the beginning. People kept finding more cases. New Jersey, 1982. New York, 1988. Florida, 1994. Thailand, Tibet. The same story. Different rooms, different cities, different victims. The pattern existed. It had always existed. Hidden in plain sight, just like the bodies. In June 2015, a YouTube channel called Obscure Horror Corner uploaded something unusual. Footage of a game they claimed to have found on the dark web. The game was called Sad Satan. In the footage, a player walks through a black, endless maze. No enemies, no objectives, no explanation, just corridors and a feeling, an unshakable feeling that something is deeply wrong. The channel shared a download link. It didn't work. No one could find the game anywhere. Reddit and 4chan searched for weeks. Nothing. People began to suspect it was staged, a hoax for views. Then a user named ZK appeared on 4chan. "What you saw on YouTube isn't the real game," he posted. "He didn't show you what was actually in it." He included a working download link. Those who downloaded it quickly wished they hadn't. The maze was the same, but embedded inside it, illegal images, the kind that can get someone arrested just for possessing them. Audio of screams, speeches from Hitler, flashing images of dictators and serial killers. The YouTuber later confirmed he had seen this content when he originally played the game. He chose not to show it. Someone alerted law enforcement. By then, dozens of people had already downloaded it. Many said the experience stayed with them in ways they couldn't explain. The YouTuber abandoned his channel shortly after. No explanation, just gone. The creator of Sad Satan has never been identified. The game still exists. Whether you believe the rest, that part is verified. The legend is simple. Stand in front of a mirror and say "Candyman" 5 times. He appears, and he kills whoever summoned him. It started as a short story in 1985, then became a film, then became an internet dare. Friends challenged each other. People posted their experiences. Some claimed to hear sounds, see shapes, feel watched. Most people know the legend. Far fewer know what inspired it. Her name was Ruthie McCoy, 52 years old. She lived alone in a Chicago apartment complex that had a reputation for violence. She also struggled with her mental health, something her neighbors noticed. She was paranoid, restless, constantly checking her locks. People dismissed her fears. They shouldn't have. In April 1987, the bathroom mirror in Ruthie's apartment began to move. slowly at first, then violently. She called 911, told the operator something was trying to come through. Before anyone arrived, the mirror crashed to the floor, and in the wall behind it, a dark opening. Intruders crawled through. They robbed her, and then they killed her. Investigators later discovered the building's design included a hidden crawl space behind the bathroom walls, used for plumbing access. The mirror covered an opening directly into that space. Someone had entered an empty neighboring apartment, removed their own mirror, and crawled through the walls. No one was ever convicted. 5 years later, the writer of the Candyman film admitted the script drew from Ruthie McCoy's real case. The supernatural villain replaced the very real criminals who were never brought to justice. Ruthie's paranoia wasn't a symptom. It was a warning no one listened to. The fear of clowns didn't come from nowhere. In the late 1990s, a chain email called the Clown Statue began to spread. A babysitter, a house, a clown statue standing in the corner of the room. She calls the parents to ask if she can cover it with a sheet. They tell her to take the children and leave immediately. They don't own a clown statue. The story spread for years. It merged with horror films. It inspired copycat pranks. By 2016, reports of people dressed as clowns stalking neighborhoods had reached multiple countries. Some people were carrying weapons just in case. But the real clown story happened decades earlier. John Wayne Gacy, Chicago, the 1970s. He was a contractor, a community volunteer. He performed at children's hospitals and birthday parties dressed as a character he called Pogo the Clown. Neighbors liked him. Parents trusted him. Between 1972 and 1978, he murdered at least 33 people. He lured young men to his home with promises of work. He hid their bodies in the crawl space beneath his house. When police finally searched the property, the scope of what he had done took weeks to fully understand. During questioning, Gacy said something investigators never forgot. Clowns can get away with murder. He was executed in 1994, but the image, the smiling face hiding something else, never left the culture. Every clown sighting, every viral photo, every internet dare traces a line back to him. This one isn't a legend about a monster. It's a theory about the space we all inhabit every day. The dead internet theory states that most of what we encounter online, the comments, the posts, the accounts, the engagement, is no longer human. It's automated, generated, designed to look real while being entirely artificial. People began noticing patterns in the late 2010s. The same phrases appearing across different accounts, the same content cycling viral again and again. The internet felt hollow, repetitive, like a room where the walls were made of mirrors. In 2021, someone laid out the theory in a detailed forum post. The argument: bots had quietly taken over. Governments and corporations had deployed them to control what goes viral, shape public perception, and manufacture the illusion of consensus. It sounded paranoid until researchers started measuring. In 2024, a study found that bots now account for more than half of all internet traffic. Millions of bot accounts identified across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, reacting, liking, commenting. In 1 month that same year, AI-generated articles outnumbered articles written by humans. One projection suggests that by 2030, AI-generated content could make up 99% of everything online. Think about what that means. The outrage you're reading, who wrote it? The account that agreed with you, who is it? The comment that changed your mind, was there a mind behind it at all? The dead internet theory isn't just a theory anymore. It's a direction, and we are already inside it. Some legends stay alive because no one can prove they're wrong. This one stayed alive because people were certain they were right. For years, adults who had grown up watching Sesame Street shared a memory that no one else could verify. A segment, a young girl, cracks on a wall that moved, that formed shapes, animals, faces, and then a creature who called itself the Crack Monster. They remembered how it made them feel, disturbed, unsettled in a way children's television wasn't supposed to make anyone feel. They searched, they went through archives, they found nothing. The prevailing theory became that it had been banned, removed from circulation because of the psychological distress it caused in children. They kept looking for 10 years. In December 2013, someone received an anonymous email. No message, just a video file, titled Cracks. They played it. It was exactly what people had been describing. The girl, the wall, the animals, the creature. It introduced itself not as the Crack Monster, but as the Crack Master. The clip was uploaded to YouTube that same day. Within hours, thousands who had carried this memory for decades watched it and felt something between relief and dread. The segment had never been destroyed. It had simply been filed under the wrong name. People were searching for Crack Monster. The archive called it Cracks. 10 years of uncertainty ended by a missing word. The memory was real. It had always been real. Sometimes the most unsettling thing isn't that something exists. It's that it existed all along and no one believed you. 7 legends, 7 truths. The things people dismiss as paranoia, as rumor, as internet mythology, sometimes they're none of those things. Sometimes they're warnings. The Slavemaster was real. The body under the bed happened more than once. Sad Satan exists. Ruthie McCoy called for help and no one came in time. Gacy smiled for photographs. The internet is filling with voices that belong to no one. And a generation of children spent a decade doubting their own memory of something that was sitting in an archive the whole time. Your instincts exist for a reason. This is Midnight Shadow. We'll see you in the dark.